I suppose my background would be in polymer technology, which is basically plastics. Harmac is mainly in the injection molding side. Some medical devices might have up to 20, 30, even 14 polymer components, plastic components in them.
The instruments that I would have worked closely with or on would be wound care. So we'll say if a person has an operation or that, they might have a scar afterwards and it may need kind of specific care. So we would make the devices that would tidy up that wound and take away any excess fluid or anything like that. We also make face masks since the pandemic started.
The key thing that I've learned myself, say, doing STEAM program, is how many different aspects of engineering there are. And even, like, let's say, obviously more people who understand basic engineering, technology, that sort of stuff. But then there's the other side of it, obviously the science side, you know, the more in the craft side, the design side. But that's a big thing.
The STEAM program, it's brilliant. It's really kind of opens your mind to children and the way that they think, and they seem to get very excited every time we show up, so that's always a good sign. I was kind of lucky to have the hands-on experience at home, growing up on a farm, and that's kind of how I got into engineering. So it's great to see that kids now that wouldn't have any link to kind of hands-on activities are now getting a little bit of it at school. It opens the kids' minds a lot more. So they have the experience of all these other areas that 10 years ago kids didn't. I think it'll mean there's more chance of a child now selecting a career that they actually are very interested in and very capable in, rather than being directed down a path that is somewhat chosen for them.
Funny thing is, you know, when you're maybe doing some presentations or you're talking through stuff, and it's maybe the way we'd see it and the way they see it is totally different. You know, we could talk about robots, for example. The robots we use in Harmac are a lot different than robots they've been thinking about. You know, it's amazing the way they see things.
The program has benefited me, definitely, in many ways, but I suppose the one I'm most surprised at, I suppose our day-to-day is we always assume that our ideas that we come up with, whether it's fixes or for a new project or something, needs to be so complex and so modern and new technologies and all that. And then you go into the school and they come up with what seems like a basic idea, but it's so good. And it's doing what's asked for. You kind of come away, you come back into your job in the afternoon and you might be looking at something that you put a lot of work in and you find yourself questioning and going, actually, have I completely over-engineered this?
I think it's just for our company and for all companies, I suppose, is to open up, you know, people's minds as to, you know, what engineering is, what companies like ourselves do. I think, you know, now at least the kids, when they're involved in the class, like, they have a good idea about, you know, what we do, what the company does, how as engineers themselves, you know, if they were to go into that route going forward, you know, what they'd be involved in. And I think they definitely get to see maybe how interesting it is, that it'll inspire them to become engineers going forward.
I found STEAM really good in so many ways, like from just interacting with the kids, the fun of it, experience of it. I suppose I would just kind of say to them, have an open mind. Even for maybe when it comes to picking secondary school subjects, be a bit more open to the likes of metalwork, woodwork, technology and tech drawing. The world is opening up a lot more for girls in engineering and in science and all the other areas. It's now shown that they're very capable of doing what boys can do as well. It's certainly a career I would definitely recommend. Every day is different, every project's different. It's nice to be able to say, like, I'm 10 years in the industry and I'm still learning.
I found it very interesting. I think it was great to be able to go back and, you know, maybe do some of the things, the basic things that you would have done, you know, years ago when you were in school and things like that. And I loved helping the kids, you know, especially, you know, seeing them, giving them ideas, and then if they were struggling, helping them out, giving them an idea, you know, helping them to maybe open up their own minds as to how they can do things. And then to see, it was amazing really how they ended up, you know, always coming up with a final solution, you know, that they always got there in the end.
The main thing I would point out that was different in this to any of the other kind of children's STEAM or STEM initiatives would be that this is so hands-on. There's a project every week or the slides are fun, the videos are fun. Like we were even like big kids here watching the videos a few times. I must say, I would definitely recommend it from the hands-on and the projects point of view. And I've actually got an appreciation now for, yeah, art is very much part of engineering, even if it's just as simple as a design engineer. And I think you were the same. I think we had a conversation one day about it, where we did see one of the kids, she wanted to paint the project at the end. In today's world, like, the cosmetics and the aesthetics of it is so important.
Definitely the craft side of it is definitely something that I think is important, because you will definitely see, you know, some of the kids, especially the girls, maybe, you know, they'd be more into maybe that side of creative, you know, creative side of things, I suppose, is the way to put it, you know, and it gives them maybe a good understanding about how their creative nature can be used in engineering.